When you think of weightlifting, what are the things that you think of? Do you think of guys like Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Phil Heath, Kai Green? Just these behemoths of men, and just seeing their massive muscles, their six-pack abs, their tree trunk legs. Well, I was one of those people that thought of that when it came to weightlifting. It's like, oh yeah, it's just what these giants do. And they grunt, they growl, they scream, yada, yada, yada. And I don't think a lot of us take into account of not just what the physical benefits that weightlifting can do for us, but more of what the mental benefits are. And by that I mean things like our mood, our comprehension skills, focusing on tasks. Just a few examples of how going to the gym, getting a workout in, can help improve those skills throughout, your entire life. I've been a weightlifter now for about 7 years. I got started in 2015, and I haven't looked back. I've been a continuous gym goer. I work out about 4 to 5 days a week for a little over an hour, sometimes an hour and 45 minutes. And I found that ever since I've gone to the gym, my life has felt so much easier in terms of my mood changing and just overall feeling more confident than I've ever been in my life. So I've always wondered, could the gym have had an impact on that? And it turns out I'm not the only one who's asked that question. Because while doing research for this project, I came across a talk from Dr. Wendy Suzuki. She's a neuroscientist, and she would explain in her talk of how she was, not feeling too confident about herself in terms of her strength. She was, I guess, overweight, and she wanted to drop some pounds. So she decided to do that and go to the gym. And it was great. She said that she felt a lot better. She felt way more happier. I guess happier is the thing, not way more. She felt happier in herself and in her everyday life. And I love that because I felt the same way when I got into weightlifting. But the thing that really grabbed my attention was how she was talking about, she was writing a grant for some type of research. She didn't necessarily say what it was, but she said usually when she would write grants in the past, she would dread it. She didn't like it. I guess it's a very tedious operation. I wouldn't know. But she said, and for this particular grant, she felt more focused on getting the task done, and she was actually confident about it. This was after she had gone to the gym for a while. And she was like, could the gym play a role into just overall mental health? And the reason I was gravitated towards this so much was I felt the exact same way. I was enrolled into college for my first go around in 2014. I was a full-time student, taking 15 credit hours per semester. And I went to school from 2014 to 2016. Now, usually that means, I got my associates and I just left. No, that wasn't the case. Throughout that span, and remember, 15 credit hours, I was way behind even getting my associate's degree. And I wasn't driven. I didn't care about anything. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to go home and sit down. So I remember leaving school in 2016 and then just going to the gym way more often than I did at that time. Because like I said, I got started in 2015, but I was going maybe once or twice a week for a half hour. Then that changed to go into the gym 5 to 6 times a week for an hour to hour and a half. And I remember just feeling so much better in terms of my emotional health And even in terms of like my comprehension skills, they were improving too. Because when I was in school, and for example, if I had an assigned book to read, it could be 300 pages, not a big book, but I would hate it and I would take forever to get through it. But when I left school and I started grabbing books for fun, I was tackling books like Game of Thrones, 700 plus books, sometimes 1,000. And they didn't really faze me, and I could get through them and feel pretty confident about myself. And I could tell you the entire plot. Maybe not like chapter for chapter, I wasn't taking those kind of notes, but I could tell you what was happening in the book, and yeah, and it felt good. And I remember relating so much to Dr. Suzuki and her talk because I never truly made that connection until she spoke it, in her talk. And I was like, oh yeah, I felt that too. I felt far more confident in my ability to learn. I felt like I could take chances in terms of like learning new skills like automotive stuff. I started learning how to fix my car on my own. And that still remains to this day. And she had an interesting theory about it. She discovered that when we're working out, even from a single workout, just one, apparently there is an increased levels of neurotransmitters in our brains. And these transmitters are, I believe, serotonin, dopamine, and noradrenaline. And these three components play huge factors in our mood and our focusing abilities. Basically, they make us happy and calm. And yeah, that honestly is legit for me, because after 7 years of weightlifting, I have gone from my first go around in college having an average, my grades were about maybe mid C's to mid to high B's, to now with my second go around with school, I'm averaging low A's to high A's. And when it comes to the actual weightlifting portion, I started going to the gym weighing 152 pounds, and I believe I was at 40% body fat, to dropping to 135 pounds at 9% body fat, to now being at 175 pounds with a 20% body fat count. I love weightlifting, I always have, and I feel like it's saved my life. And I'm gonna continue it, and I hope this video might help you just get into the door, do a light workout, and see how you feel after that. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a lovely day.